Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food no matter what you're craving. From 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings. Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week all season long. Uber Eats, the official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now for game day. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime Video.
Right on the money.
This week, it's one of the NFL's fiercest rivalries as the Cincinnati Bengals face the Baltimore Ravens.
Touchdown.
Coverage begins with TNF tonight. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game. It's the Bengals and the Ravens Thursday only on Prime Video. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
It's time to get inside the Giants Huddle.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On Giants.com.
I like it, I like it.
And the Giants mobile app.
Boom, give me some juice.
Part of the Giants Podcast Network.
Let's roll.
Welcome to the Giants Huddle podcast, brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Giants. My name is Madelyn Burke, alongside the Super Bowl champion Shaun for a Week 9 rapid reaction. The Washington Commanders came to MetLife Stadium and came away with the win. The Giants falling 27-22 is the final score. But, Shaun, one thing that stood out, the offense struck a very different tone today, and it started when they established the run early.
They really had rhythm today, and I think the commitment to the run game definitely paid dividends. You could feel it. You could kind of see that they were getting confidence, and, you know, they were, the emphasis coming into this game was, all right, we're going to continue to pound the rock. And they ran it 3 times in a row, multiple times. I think this might be the first game all year where they've done that. And it paid off because they were moving the chains. You could kind of see it was starting to wear down Washington's defense a little bit, and that's the objective. That's what you want. I'm sure it was frustrating for Neighbors to not be getting any targets early on, but I thought he did a good job blocking out on the perimeter as well. So I thought the offense, look, you put your best foot forward. Like, what they do best right now is run the football. Tyrone Tracy is, I mean, his feet are on fire right now. He's just running through arm tackles. He's running through contact. And Devin Singletary has done a great job as well, providing a nice 1-2 punch. So that's really the strength of this offense right now. They leaned on it. Unfortunately, on the one turnover, they had a great momentum. The drive was going great. And then on the screenplay, there was the fumble, the turnover that really kind of thwarted any momentum that they had. But they came right back on the next possession, marched all the way down the field, and got a touchdown. So the offense definitely had some energy. They had some spark. I think the defense fed off of that. But the self-inflicted wounds continue for this team. And that turnover, and then also a touchdown later on, taken off the board because of offensive pass interference, which felt like a little hokey-pokey of a call. I'm sure we'll hear about it all week long. But those 2 plays really ended up becoming blemishes that they could not overcome.
Right, and that turnover you're talking about, that was in the first quarter. It was a scoreless game. The Giants were driving down the field and had gone all the way from, I believe, the 7-yard line to the 29, to their own 29, or from their own 7 to the 29 without passing the ball once. And the very first pass play, initially it's called an incomplete pass, but Washington challenges it and it's overturned as a fumble. But it was fumbled. The ball kind of trickled down the field. That blew the whistle. Devin Singletary stopped playing for it. Washington recovered it, and they ended up overturning it, giving the ball to Washington in great field position that set them up for their first touchdown of the game and a 7-0 lead. But you mentioned, the Giants kind of turned it around, got right back into it, ran the ball down the field again, and executed. And we saw Daniel Jones, his first passing touchdown at MetLife Stadium this season, a 2-yard pass to Chris Manhertz, one of 2 passing touchdowns on the day for DJ, and he also added a rushing touchdown, a much-needed spark for Daniel Jones. Yeah,
spark for Daniel Jones, for the offense too. But you almost kind of felt like with that touchdown pass to Manhertz, by the way, it was a great catch, phenomenal catch. He kind of went up and got it, and it was acrobatic. And I thought that play, it was very symbolic. It was not just a touchdown. And you could kind of feel for Daniel Jones, like, all right, kind of, you could stop talking about it. Like, we could stop talking about the drought. People were saying it's been 2 years since he threw a touchdown pass at home. Like, the guy played, he missed half the year last year, so that's not an accurate slander. But it was definitely a relief, and you kind of see, and you could feel the energy. Like, okay, hey, great, you know what? We got it. The offense is humming today. Let's keep it going. And I think it was a good throw. It was a good read. It was a good play call. And it really was effective because they were running the football so well. And because they were able to do that, it gave that play action a little bit of teeth, and it allowed them to have that big play.
You're ready for a change. Payday comes early with Citizens, so go to that retreat. New You moves to the country. Now you're raising goats and launching a lifestyle brand. Are you ready for all that life brings?
The best part of football season? Checking out the post-game stats. Which wideouts scored more than 2 touchdowns? Which QBs threw for less than 350 yards? Think you can pick who will do what before kickoff? Then play Pick 6 from DraftKings, an official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app, select between 2 and 6 players, and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. It's that simple. And for all first-time Pick 6 players, check this out. New customers play $5 on your first pick set, get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Download the new DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code DK1. That's code DK1 for new customers to play $5 on your first pick set, get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Non-withdrawable. Pick 6 credits expire in 6 months. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Yeah, and I mean, Giants were down 24-10 to start the fourth quarter. They had 2 fourth quarter scores to really try to get back into this game. Not able to fully do it, though. They went for 2 on both of those and didn't convert either of the 2-point conversions, and so ended up falling 27-22. But, as much as we saw some productivity from the offense, the defense played a strong game, but the struggles in tackling continued. And for a team that leads the league in sacks, the Giants didn't have a single sack on the day.
Yeah, no, the pressure was different today. It was a very controlled pressure. It didn't seem like the kind of, chaotic pressure that we have had all year long. And I think a lot of it, you have to credit Jane Daniels as the reason why, because he's so elusive and he's so tough to bring down. So I thought they were a little gun-shy with the blitzes. It didn't seem like Shane Bowen called as many blitzes as they did previously in week 2. But I think defensively, there were so many plays where they made a big play. And it was, all right, it's good defense. And then, man, 2nd and 19, they give up a big first down. 3rd and long, they give up another big first down. And there was a couple of missed tackles in space that I thought really kind of cramped the day for the defense. And, look, I think they've played so well all season long. This was probably their first, clunker, really. And, when you say clunker, it's, they gave up, 27 points, but, one of those touchdowns was after the fumble, and then they had a defensive pass interference by Cordell Flott, and basically the ball's on the 1-yard line. So that was kind of a gift from the offense, if you will. I thought the defense, look, they need to find find a way to do a better job in the red zone. Obviously the touchdown passes to McLaurin, the slant, that's tough to defend. The slant and go route, that was probably bad technique by Tay Banks, knowing that he had help inside. You don't have to commit to that slant because you have help. So those are things that are fixable. But going back to the offense, I thought the offense showed some fight today. They found a way, hey, we scored, they scored, we scored. They kept this team in the game. Even in the fourth quarter, Daniel Jones runs for a touchdown, literally runs through 2 defenders. That was an emphatic touchdown to go along with his passing touchdown. You could kind of see he kind of spiked. He didn't spike the ball. He kind of threw it. And it was kind of like a frustrated celebration. I'm still angry. I'm not satisfied. I'm glad I scored, but it's not you could tell he wants to win so bad. And then the touchdown to Theo Johnson, that was, I don't think we've had a touchdown all year long that has had a guy that wide open. So that was really nice to see. And it was Bobby Wagner, who was the Mike linebacker, who is, arguably one of the best linebackers in the history of this game that Theo was able to get behind. So that was a good read, good throw by Daniel Jones as well.
Absolutely. And I think, coming into this game, if we were to tell you, hey, the Giants are going to break their drought of no passing touchdowns at MetLife, I think one of the names that people would have guessed would have been Malik Neighbors getting involved. Neighbors was really limited in the first half, a lot of it because Dan Quinn's, adjustments on defense, looking at the way that Neighbors played against Washington in week 2. He had almost 150 yards in that game, was very effective This one, they played a lot of cover 2. They changed the looks. Obviously, the Giants focusing more on the run also affected things. But, the way that Neighbors was covered was a little bit different this time around.
Yeah, I think the game plan, obviously, of running the football was evident. And to Malik Neighbors' credit, even though he wasn't getting the ball in the first half, he was in there blocking. There was a couple of big run plays where he was out on the perimeter. The gadget play to Darius Slayton, he was leading the way. That big run by Daniel Jones, I think it was the second quarter, he was the one that was kind of springing him around the perimeter. So he showed you that he's a team player. But I'm sure he was frustrated at halftime knowing, hey, look, I don't really feel like I'm a factor in this game right now. And I torched these guys in week 2. Like,
and especially your college teammate and buddy is on the other sideline over there.
JD's over there, shining his rings, and pounding his chest. So I think Neighbors, there were definitely in the second half, you could see, hey, they were keen on him. Like, you're going to have to beat us with somebody else, which is why you saw Theo get involved. Slayton had a couple catches. But I think, Malik Neighbors, he still ended up, it was a quiet day, but he still had, almost 100 yards receiving, right? He had
59 yards,
9 catches for 59 yards. So he still had an impact. And while it didn't show up statistically, there was an impact in the run game.
You love turf. You're good at it. So you start a turf biz. Business grows, your savings grow. Become the most celebrated name in turf. Are you ready for all that life brings?
I'm Peter Schrager, host of Good Morning Football on the NFL Network and the Season with Peter Schrager podcast. Whether you're ordering wings for the game or you're whipping up a 7-layer dip or you're ordering a pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food, no matter what you're craving. From 2-for-1 pizzas to buy one, get one wings to whatever it is you want, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week all season long. Uber Eats is the official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now for game day. Terms and conditions apply, and see the app for details.
Absolutely, and that's also an important element, an important balance in any player. But still a tough loss. 27-22 is the final. The Giants fall to the Commanders for the second time this season. This is the 4th division loss. The Giants have not yet won a game in the division. And they're, on an interesting week. It's not a short week because they don't play until Sunday, but they play Sunday in Germany. So they'll be leaving Thursday night. The team leaves, getting there Friday morning, going right to practice and adjusting to the time before they play Carolina in Munich on Sunday, 9:30 kickoff local time. But when you look at that game, not only the experience of playing overseas, but also playing a Panthers team that just got the win today over New Orleans. You got Bryce Young back under center at quarterback after being benched for Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton getting hurt. Now Bryce Young getting another chance out there. What are your anticipations for this game?
Well, I kind of go back to 2 years ago when the Giants played the Green Bay Packers in London, and the defense really showed up in that game. They were down at halftime. Things looked bleak, and then they came out and they were a totally different team in the second half. So I think, maybe it's because they woke up. The time change there might have been a little jet lag involved in that. But, look, I think this game is set up, really perfectly for the Giants. The Carolina Panthers are struggling to establish an identity. They're a younger team. I think when you kind of look at the Bryce Young aspect, it's another young quarterback. So this is two 2-7 teams. Both need a win. But I will say this is a tough trip. It's a tough trip physically because you mentioned they leave Thursday night, so it's a red-eye flight. A lot of people will say, well, it's like flying to the West Coast. That's different because if you leave at 1 o'clock, you land at 4 o'clock, you're not losing a night's sleep. So the challenge really for any team that plays in London or Germany is when you take that red-eye flight on Thursday night, how do you make up for that sleep that you just lost? So I remember playing in the game in London in 2007. That was the first time and the only time in my career I actually took a nap on game day. So I went down, I got breakfast to go, and I went right back up to my room and to take a nap because I definitely felt sleep-deprived in that situation. So I think the Giants' success 2 years ago, they'll probably have that same kind of schedule. But I think Germany, it's fun because there's so much energy and excitement in a game like this because the fans don't get to see this very often. So you kind of feel that. I'll say this, international fans, they do not stop cheering. They make noise the entire game. That's something that kind of takes a little while to get used to. But I think that they're looking forward to this trip. It is a business trip, but I think you also get to spend a lot of time together as a team, which helps out a lot with the bonding.
Yeah, it's a good team building experience, and also it's a good perspective shift to see just, how internationally recognized and appreciated what you're doing on the field is, and how many people are, just kind of out there rooting for you week in and week out. And like you said, it is tough, even if you can sleep on that flight. It's not good sleep on an airplane, so getting tired, jet lagged, adjusting to it, but the Giants will be heading into the bye after the Week 10 game in Germany against the Carolina Panthers. So we'll be looking forward to that one. We'll be getting ready for that one all week with all of our Giants content on Giants.com and the podcast. But that's a wrap for a Week 9 rapid reaction on the Giants Huddle podcast. And of course, Giants Huddle brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Giants. From game day celebrations to your everyday financial needs, Big Blue fans can get the most out of every moment with Citizens. Learn more at citizensbank.com/Giants. For Shaun O'Hara, I'm Madelyn Burke. That's a wrap. It's the Giants' fall to the Commanders 27-22 in Week 9.
I'm Peter Schrager, host of Good Morning Football on the NFL Network and the Season with Peter Schrager podcast. Whether you're ordering wings for the game or you're whipping up a 7-layer dip or you're ordering a pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food, no matter what you're craving. From 2-for-1 pizzas to buy one, get one wings to whatever it is you want, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week all season long. Uber Eats is the official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now for game day. Terms and conditions apply, and see the app for details.
What's good? Justin Jefferson here.
Football is a lot of explosion, a lot of energy and attitude.
With these open earbuds,
to have good sound and to be so light on your ear, it's like a dream.
For more, check out Bose.com.